This is Gabby Ray Talker here to give my review of Real Housewives of Atlanta Season 8, Episode 2. I tried to get to this sooner, but I've been distracted from work and various projects. But here I am now giving my review, so here we go. Okay, the show continues from last week where Kenya and Sheree was having words, and Sheree looked like she was gonna throw a drink on Kenya or try to, but it pretty much ended with Kenya apologizing to Sheree. Hopefully she's trying to turn over a new leaf and stop starting fires. So Kenya walked over to Phaedra, and Phaedra questioned her, asking, "Why are you still starting trouble?" And Kenya, she just decided to leave the party early. Cynthia questioned Peter about the words that were exchanged with him and Kenya earlier, and she just told him she wanted to be supported, and he basically got an attitude and walked away. In the next scene, Kenya goes and see Kim Fields. She was most famous for the 80s Facts of Life and the 90s Living Single. Now Kim Fields is joining the cast of The Real Housewives of Atlanta in this season 8, and Kenya is the first to greet her. During the meeting, Kenya asked Kim if she would be interested in directing her pilot. If you guys haven't seen it, I'll leave a link for you guys to check it out. So even though Kenya was meeting with Kim for business purposes, she still could not control herself from throwing shade. When she asked Kim what happened to those roller skates, referring to the roller skates Kim wore when she was on the Facts of Life. So Kim responded to her and said, "Oh, they're in the Smithsonian." And Kenya responded back saying, "Or on eBay." So I don't know what Kenya was trying to get at, but I guess Kenya doesn't know that people sell fake stuff all the time on eBay. The next scene, Cynthia talks to her assistant about her personal life and is upset over what she is dealing with Peter. The next scene, you see Portia with her crew discussing I guess business plans, and they tell her that she shouldn't be focusing on a man right now because it would be distracting. The next scene, you see Phaedra and Cynthia get together and work out their differences, and Phaedra explained to Cynthia that she felt hurt because she was going through a lot of stuff with Apollo, and the ladies were coming at her with all types of stuff, and it felt like being kicked when she was down, as they kicking a man when he's down, as they would say. Next scene, Sheree and Candy meet together. Sheree asked Candy if Kenya is always like that, and Candy told her that Kenya has a tendency of turning people off. Then Sheree asked Candy, "How is she and Phaedra doing?" Candy said, "I don't know. I did not know we were having issues, but she was sharing that with Nene." Then Sheree says, "That got to be hurtful, 'cause you two were close." Then the next scene, you see Kim Fields with her family. She says, "I got my kids, my man, a career. I don't need anything else." Then she goes to work while at home, doing an intro scene for her website. Next scene, Candy's crew meet. Candy brings up the fact that she has to cut back because she is now pregnant, and the doctor recommends it. Her manager, Don Juan, brings up that Candy is working on a lot of projects like Candy Coated Nights, a music video, and Candy mentioned that she and Todd is opening up a restaurant. Candy stated that she's going to have to depend on Todd to get most of the work done. Don Juan says, a baby is important and we gotta get a baby shower together. Todd asks, who's on the guest list? Is Phaedra coming? And Candy says yes. Then Todd says, can you make sure she brings my money? Then he says to Candy, I won't put that kind of pressure on you. Then Don Juan gets into it and he says, well, do you want me to reach out to Phaedra on your behalf? And Todd says, cool, I'll give you a percentage. And Todd really seems to be bothered by this money that Phaedra owes him. Hopefully they'll work it out. Next scene, Portia is getting ready for a going away party for her new boyfriend Duke. In this scene, Portia's sister Lauren announces that she's expecting, and Portia seemed kind of upset. To me, she seems upset by saying in her confessional, I thought I would be the first one to get pregnant. And then Portia says to her mom and her family, well, I hope this is the reason why she's acting like this, because when she calls Lauren to talk to her about Duke, Lauren acts like she's not the one to call. So the party starts, and Candy notices that Portia's family are not very supportive of Duke and Portia together. They're saying things like he's 24 years old and he's an athlete and athletes cheat. Then Candy says to Phaedra, Google says that he was just messing with a transgender. Okay, I'm going to stop for a second and look at details about this transgender that Duke has been allegedly messing with. According to HollywoodLife.com, this transgender was born a man. Her name used to be Arthur. She started transitioning when she was 17, which makes her 27 now. She's linked to such stars as Soulja Boy, Ocho Cinco, Boobie Gibson, and now is rumored that she will appear as a guest on Real Housewives of Atlanta, and I hope she does appear because I really would like to hear what she has to say. Portia acted totally oblivious to the rumors about Duke, referring to him as her MVP, saying that they will be looking for a house, and even wearing a half shirt with his number 27 on it. I just think it would have been more appropriate if she wore an outfit like this, cause her action screams bozo, like seriously. Not to mention, when Duke arrives, Portia has cheerleaders cheering for him. Then sometime during the party, Duke whispers to this guy and says, you can't go. And the guy says, just stay. So, to be more clear, I believe he said, I'll just stay. So I'm thinking Duke could be a closet gay, because he's telling this guy you can't go, and he could be on the low with this guy that he's talking to at Portia's party. And I only say this because he's been said to have had relations with a transgender woman. This is the before and after photo of him or her. So the scene ends with Portia giving Duke a MVP award because she says he's her MVP. So the last scene takes place with Phaedra and Candy getting together to work out their differences. Candy explained to Phaedra that she did not like her two-facedness. Then Phaedra told Candy that she was upset when a stranger came up to her and said that they want to buy Apollo stuff in Candy's garage. Phaedra explained to Candy that the government was looking for that stuff. Moving on in the conversation, Candy mentioned that Phaedra owed Todd money. And eventually, throughout the conversation, Phaedra said she'll make sure that she talks to Todd. Over the course of the conversation, you could see Phaedra, she was crying and Candy was crying. At the end of the conversation, Phaedra said they hope they can move forward. And Candy says she just want to make peace with Phaedra. Then after Phaedra leaves, Don Juan comes in and plays the devil's advocate. Right after Candy and Phaedra had tried to make peace, this guy comes in, try to keep the stuff going, saying that Phaedra tears were fake. Strange. I'm thinking Don Juan is really trying to get his own show. But is this the way to do it? I guess time will tell. And this concludes my review. Come join me on my next one. And also come join me on my social networks. And come join me at www.isoclassifieds.com. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.